Thanks, Mike. Thank you, guys. Good morning. Excited to be coming back to Milwaukee. When I got traded there, I was nervous, scared, didn't know what to expect. I've been in the Indians organization for, 10 years, really grew up there. And, when I walked into the clubhouse in Milwaukee, it was like I'd been there my whole career. So, it was very welcoming and warming organization. The city was great. So just super excited to be able to come back and share this experience with my wife and kids.
Thanks, CC. We're going to open it up to questions right now. We're going to use the raise your hand feature. So please raise your hand on Zoom. If you have a question, I'll recognize you. Please remain on mute if you are not asking a question. And with that, we'll open it up to questions for CC. Don't be shy. Molly, how about you?
I actually don't know how to use the raise hand feature, so that's what I was struggling to figure out. Hi, Cece. I'm Molly. I'm with MLB.com. So when you got traded, what kind of had a scramble to get to Milwaukee? Just what was that like to get to the city?
It was weird. Yeah, it was kind of a scramble. I got traded on a Sunday. I think I remember we were flying back in from Minnesota. And I got back to my house and my wife was like, what do you want to do? I remember it was I think it was Doug that said that I could either pitch. I could pitch on that because it was Sunday I got traded. I was scheduled to pitch Tuesday, and he was like, you can wait till the end of the week and pitch on Sunday right before the All-Star break, or you can pitch after the break, whatever you need to do. My wife was pregnant with our third child at the time. And I remember looking at my wife, I was like, no, I want to get there as fast as possible. I want to pitch on Tuesday and I want to pitch on Sunday. So, Mark Antonaccio sent his plane for me, and me and my wife got on there and I got there Monday night and pitched on Tuesday. I wanted to try to, do as much as I can and make an impact right away.
Thanks, Molly. And we'll go to Sophia now.
Hi, Cece. Now working with the team, fans still love that 2008 team. Obviously, your impact on the team, you were a big reason why they were able to end the playoff drought. I'm wondering if, when you think back to being traded and coming to Milwaukee, the impact that you had, was that something you were even thinking about, or were you more focused on just going and performing? I guess now, even years later, right? The impact that you've had on the fan base and the team and the memories that you've given the fan base with that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't something that I had thought about in the moment. I had such a bad first half in Cleveland that I just honestly wanted to come and just pitch well, and the fact that I, had really kind of turned my season around was the reason why I wanted the ball so much. I had really gotten off to a terrible start. I won the Cy Young in 2007, got off to a terrible start in 2008, and I was kind of finding my groove right when I got traded. So, I wanted to pitch as much as possible. I wanted to be a part of the team and feel like I was, making an impact amongst the clubhouse. I didn't really think about, anything outside of that. Was just trying to, help this team win as many games as possible. And I felt fresh and I felt good. So that's why I took the ball as much as I did.
Then we'll go to Lance Allen.
Hey, CC, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Mike put it well. You were here for 3 months, but you were almost superhuman. I know you don't want to take credit for that, but it was an incredible performance. Does it still blow you away that people still, you're a beloved figure in this city, and that people understood in the offseason why you had to go? It would have been stupid for you not go with what was offered to you, but does that still just blow your mind that people love you here?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's the feeling's mutual, because it was some of the. I always say that was my favorite summer I've ever had playing in the big leagues, because I walk in the clubhouse and my best friend, who I've been knowing my whole life, Dave Risky, was already in the clubhouse, and I got Mike Cameron and Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder Billy Hall, like those are still some of, you know, my closest friends to this day. So, you know, the feeling's mutual. You know, I still love Milwaukee, and it's great to get that love from the city for sure.
And we'll go to JR.
Hey, actually, I was going to ask a little more about David Risky, because I think you'd said that you found out from him before anyone else that you were coming to Milwaukee. I think he saw a uniform was getting made for you or something. Can you just tell that story again? I'm curious how that all went.
Yeah, so that whole weekend, I was trying to figure out where I was going. I can't remember. I was in Minnesota, but it was one other team besides Milwaukee that was, I guess, pretty hot on trading me. And I'm walking through the mall. I got my family with me, and Risky calls me. He was like, "You're coming to Milwaukee," and I was like, "What?" And I think this was like Friday, so this was like 2 days before I got traded. He was like, "Yeah, I just seen them making up your jerseys in the back." So right then, I was like, "All right, like that." I guess I'm going to Milwaukee. So he was the first one to really tell me that I was coming there, and just by happen chance walking in the back and seeing Tony and Jason making up the jerseys, I guess.
And we'll go to Lane Grindle.
Yeah, CC, just a little different topic on this in that Craig was on that team with you, and now it's come full circle. He's the manager. Has any of it surprised you, the success that he's had as the Brewers manager all these years later?
No, not at all. Because he was kind of the same way at the time in the clubhouse. You know, we had a lot going on. You know, Ned got fired right at the end of the season, and you know, it was a lot of moving parts. Everything was kind of all over the place. And Counsell was, you know, our kind of like our player manager at the time. You know, he had won 2 World Series already, had been through everything. I remember when we had the playoff shares meeting, he kind of ran that. So no, it doesn't surprise me at all that you know, the success that he's having as a manager. You know, I thought that for sure. I thought he would be a more like Aaron Boone, though, getting after the umpires a lot more, because, you know, he runs hot a little bit, but he's been doing a good job, you know, as far as, you know, not going out there with the umpires. So that's fun to see.
We'll go back to Molly.
You obviously joined during a pretty crazy postseason drought. Can you just describe what the city was like, you know, when you got there, and then down the stretch, maybe as excitement started to build that, you know, this could be the real thing this year? Yeah, no, it was, it had been a long time since, you know, the team had won, and but that team was so talented. You know, you had Ryan Braun and like I said, all the guys that I just named, JJ Hardy, Corey Hart. You know, we traded for Ray Durham. He came in. So the team was ready to kind of, you know, in that drought. And I feel like I just kind of came in and, you know, gave everybody, myself and, you know, Ray included, gave everybody the confidence to kind of take it to the next level. But it was a lot of fun to be a part of that and just feel what the city was going through, and, you know, driving into the park and seeing people tailgating before games. I had never seen that before. So it was a great vibe. I mean, even after some of my good starts at home, I lived out in Brookfield, and people would put cookies and different things on my porch. So it was like I said, it was a fun summer. It was a great vibe.
And we'll go back to JR.
You mentioned that at the end there, where Ned gets fired and Dale Swaim takes over, I think with 12 games left. So as good as the vibe was, I'd be curious what that stretch was like then, and if you thought, I mean, if it felt like a sinking ship at that point, because I think it's a 2.5 game deficit or something like that. Like what was that transition like?
Man, it didn't feel like a sinking ship at all. It just felt like it felt like the last 3 weeks of the season, every game we played was a playoff game. And, you know, every series we went into, everything was magnified. Everything was huge. And I don't think we really even thought about Ned getting fired, because we had to win the game that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, we couldn't even have time to process anything that was going on, because all it was about was just winning the game that night. So whatever happened, you know, kind of happened, and we just tried to go out and win a ball game. And that was every single night for the last 3 weeks of the season. So when all of that happened, when Ned got fired and Dale took over, like I said, it was Counts, it was Mike Cameron, it was Ray Durham, being the voices in the clubhouse that kind of calmed us and would, allowed us to go out and be able to, concentrate and win some ball games to get us in the playoffs.
And we'll go back to Lance.
I love your use of the word happen chance, CC. I got to use that in a situation at some point. That was awesome. With the way that you pitched, the numbers are ridiculous. They're video game numbers. So when you went to the mound every day, did you feel almost an out-of-body experience? Or every day when you pitched and went to the mound, did you feel like these guys cannot hit me and I'm carrying this team on my back?
It was, I guess, I could almost describe it like an out-of-body experience because you never go to the mound knowing that you're going to win a ball game. I went to the mound every single time knowing that I was going to win those games. Like, I like driving to the ballpark on that last game of the season. I remember telling my cousins we were driving, I was like, get ready to celebrate. Like, we're going to win. I've never felt that before in my career. So that's why I always say I wanted the ball so much because I knew I was going to win those games. So I like, it had to be, it felt like an out-of-body experience because you never drive to the ballpark with that much confidence in knowing that you're going to win baseball games.
All right, we'll just take a few more. We'll go to Molly.
You may have just answered this by saying every game kind of started to feel like a playoff game, but you started to pitch on just 3 days rest, maybe not something your agent was super thrilled about, but what went into that decision and how, why were you so insistent that, this is the right move for me and for us?
Yeah, really nothing kind of went into that decision. It was just like, I feel good and this team is a lot of fun and we're having fun this summer. I don't want the season to end. And Sheeter went down, when Ben got hurt and, we were just running short on pitchers. And I remember, Dale's first day as the manager, I went into his office like right away. They were in there having a meeting and everything was, all jumbled. They were trying to figure stuff out. And I was like, one thing you don't have to worry about is who's pitching tomorrow because I'm pitching tomorrow. And it was like, that was the first time I went on 3 days rest. And I was like, I got it. Don't worry about it. Like, I know you got a lot of stuff going on, scrambling, all this stuff. And I was like, I'm pitching. I remember I came in the next day and he tried to talk me out of it. And I was like, I'm taking the ball. Like, it is what it is. And after that, he never questioned me. I just told him, I'm pitching the next 3 days and I'll pitch 3 days after that.
Stephanie?
Hey, Cece, just wondering what it means to you to have the Brewers honor you coming up here in a few weeks in August for what's incredible. Just the short time you were here in Milwaukee had such an impact.
Yeah, no, it feels good. It feels great. Like I said, the feeling is very mutual between me and the city. It was the best summer I had playing baseball in the big leagues. I've had, lifelong friends coming out of that run that I had in the 3 months. So just excited to be back and excited to be back and watch Ben go into the Hall of Fame there too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
We will take two more. First, JR.
I just want to get what you specifically remember from that final game in 2008. I would love to know every detail. I don't know if it all runs together as a blur. You lead off the bottom of the eighth. I didn't know if there was any possibility you wouldn't pitch the ninth. I'm sure the answer is no, but I didn't know if, like, looking back now, 15 years later, you can say, well, it was touch and go, and just the things that really stood out about that finale and what you take away from that one.
Man, I wish I could tell you like give you details about that finale, but all those games kind of run together. If I'm being honest, like, sometimes I think about when I pitched in Milwaukee and I'll have a memory of the no-hit game and then it'll run into the game that, I pitched in Wrigley, like all that whole kind of 3 months stretch, like it was all kind of one big game to me, if that makes sense. Like, all of it just runs together. So I'll have like flashbacks and different memories of different games, but I can't differentiate, the run. If that it's weird. It's pretty crazy. What I do remember from the very last game is getting the ground ball. Like I remember gritting the ground ball and like throwing my arms up and turning around and seeing Kendall like coming towards me. But that was it after that.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lance.
CC, total question. You were on our air about a month ago at the American Century Golf Championship, and you look phenomenal. Is that what you pour yourself into now? Is working out, staying healthy, and playing a lot of golf?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm going to the golf course right now. That's what I do. Get a chance to hang out with my family, work out and just enjoy being retired. And being part of that is playing golf. And I fell in love with golf. Honestly, during the pandemic, it was, during the pandemic, the only couple of things you could do was play golf and ride a bike. So I chose to play golf, and I've kind of fell in love with it the last 3 years. And I'm leaving on the trip tomorrow to go play in Chicago. So it's my newfound passion, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, CC, we could keep you here all day, but we will let you go to the golf course now, and we'll all look forward to seeing you again on Friday, August 25th. And thanks everybody for your time, and have a great day.